प्रियंका गांधी आज असम के विश्वनाथ जिले में चाय बागान में पहुंची, जहां उन्होंने चाय बागान के मजदूरों से बात की, उनकी समस्याओं को समझा और साथ में कुछ तस्वीरें भी खिंचवाई। एक वीडियो भी आया है जिसमें वो चाय की पत्तियां तोड़ते हुए नजर आ रही हैं।
तो इन तस्वीरों से आप देख सकते हैं कि पहले कल कामाख्या मंदिर वो गई थी और उसके बाद वो झूमर नृत्य करती हुई भी नजर आई थी और एक बार फिर से चाय बागान में काम करने वाले लोगों के साथ वो एक रिश्ता, एक संबंध बांधने की कोशिश कर रही हैं और वहां उनके बीच जाकर उनके दिनचर्या, उनकी जो रोजी रोटी है उसमें वो कहीं ना कहीं उनके साथ उसी प्रक्रिया में शामिल हुई। और आपको बता दें कि वहां जब उनसे बात भी की गई तो उनका कहना था कि असम में दरअसल क्योंकि सीए का मुद्दा बहुत ज्यादा उछला था, उनका कहना था कि ये जो पूरी लड़ाई हो रही है असम में वो दरअसल विचारधारा की लड़ाई है। और हमारे सहयोगी रतनद चौधरी ने उनसे बात की तो प्रियंका गांधी ने उनसे कहा कि चुनाव कांग्रेस और बीजेपी का चुनाव नहीं है बल्कि असम की पहचान और विचारधारा की लड़ाई है।
You are here in the tea gardens. You have interacted with the tea garden workers. You are here for the first time campaigning in the Assam elections. Although we have seen that the Congress is trying hard, it is a difficult election for the Congress. How far will your campaign help the party?
It's not a question of the Congress trying hard or not trying hard. Look, the Congress has put up a strong campaign, a united campaign, and we are working, every worker of the Congress now understands that this election is not a Congress versus BJP election. This is a Assam's identity versus an RSS and BJP ideology election. Every worker in the Congress understands that, every leader understands that. So it's not a question of trying hard. I think that's not a correct way to put it. I think the way to put it is that everybody has now understood that this is a fight for Assam. And every single Congress worker, every single Congress leader is putting his heart into this fight because he believes in it more than anything else.
In this election, for the first time, Congress has not gone solo. You have formed an alliance with AIUDF and the other parties here. Even in Bengal, you have formed an alliance. Even within the party, critics have been quite skeptical about alliance with AIUDF or ISF. How do the party sees this? Because a lot of people are saying that it is against the ideology of the Congress party.
I think if you are referring to the certain comments made yesterday, our West Bengal PCC chief has already responded to those comments. But look, what is being fought for in Assam, as I said, is Assam itself. It is not Congress party. It is Assam itself. It is the identity of Assamese people. It is the identity of the Assamese state. And as I said, there are differences between ideologies. We may not agree 100% with what all our alliance partners believe, but we are together in this fight. Because everybody understands today that it's a fight to save Assam.
But you have also some senior leaders. They've been, now media is calling them G23. They have been making comments. You have a situation where a leader has joined who has been seen as a God worshipper. So does it not somewhere kind of is a contradiction with the party ideology?
See, what the BJP has done in Assam in the last 5 years, it's very clear what trajectory it wants Assam to take. It has, firstly, they made a lot of promises in the last election, which they didn't keep. One of their promises was based on CAA. They had said before that they are not going to implement it. Then they went ahead and implemented it. That has had a deep impact on Assam. And every person in Assam belonging to this party or that party, everybody understands that. So the fight, as I said, is a deeply ideological fight. It is a fight for the state of Assam. Whoever wants to stand with us in this fight, stands with us in this fight.
You have come here. Rahul Gandhi has been traveling down south. Now what we see is that not only in Assam, all the other states which are going to polls, you're trying hard, but you have not invested much in past in terms of boosting the Congress, organizational strength. So do you think that this parachuting really helps?
What is the parachuting? Explain, please.
that you are here for the first time campaigning. Mr. Gandhi is campaigning hard down south, we have seen.
Every general secretary in every state is working very, very hard to build the Congress organization. I'm in charge of UP. I'm working 24/7 on building the organization in UP. It may or may not have the results that you expect, but the work is being done daily. The general secretary here has been working continuously to gather our troops, to create a good campaign, to build our organization. Similarly, in every state, this work is carrying on. Obviously, when there are elections, then leaders from all different states, national leaders, come to those states to campaign. There's no question of parachuting in this. I don't hear you using this word for others. I don't hear you using this word when Modi ji did not come here when there were floods. After the lockdown, when people were suffering and when there were floods here, where was the Prime Minister? And you don't say that he's parachuting when in the last 3 weeks he's done 5 tours of Assam, and in all this time when there was so much trouble here and there were the CA agitations, there was the floods, there was the lockdown, they didn't come. So I would say they are parachuting in because it was their responsibility as a government to look after people.
What is your message to the voters of Assam, as well as why do you think...
My message to voters all over the country, Assam and elsewhere, is please recognize what you are voting for. Everybody puts before you certain things. Now you have to understand from your own experience, when they put these things before you, are they keeping their promises or not? Are they delivering or not? And are they actually working for you or not? So the simple question that they should ask themselves is this party actually truthful? Is it working for me, or is it working for example, the BJP, to my mind, is working primarily to help its big industrialist friends? So those are the questions that the voter has to ask, and he has to base it on his own life and take the correct decision primarily for himself, for his state.